Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back, everyone. We are looking at Bitcoin on a daily time frame, and as you can see, our reprieve bounds on last 3 days is in full effect. My only issue is volume is at a decline. Okay, we need to close above. Hold on 1 second. Let's just say the 21 basically. We need to close above 20,800, 20,900, let's say that. We need to close above that today for continuation next week. If we lose this level today, we're going to look to obviously put in a third lower high, and then we can look for a reverse all the way back down. This also would be formulating a head and shoulder situation, guys. So I'm gonna take my drawings off real quick or put them back on. And as you can see, what we're doing right now is we're consolidating. Okay, we're now completely under 21,200. Okay, and we are just rejecting a little bit off the 21. Okay, we have about 12 hours left for this day to close. It is imperative we stay at this stance to close. Any weakness showing now against the 21, you're going to see people trying to hedge themselves for the weekend, and you could possibly see this roll over. All right. That is basically what I was trying to say is our little channel. We're testing the top of it. We're testing the 21. We're testing the level that we want to close above. So it's make it or break it time. I'm going to go to the 4 hour so you can see a little bit better as to why I have some concerns. This was the top of our channel. Now when it's rising, I usually take shorts. So I would have been trying to short around here. I've been trying to accumulate a short this like last day. Okay. Volume is subsiding. As soon as this 4 hour closes in about 42 minutes, it is looking like we are testing the previous day's high. If we can close above it, that'd be ideal. Closing under this level, this is also the weekly open, okay? And the previous week's Ethereum. Closing under this level here is going to show weakness, showing that we were rejecting at resistance. You're going to see a little bit of a pullback. Now, when we do pull back, it would be great if we can get a bounce off of 20,560 and use this as support, because that's the 100 EMA, the 2155, everything should be converging at this point over here. And then we should be continuing our upside move as we find the support here. So if we do come back, we find some support in this little range between 20,500 to about 20,300, and then we close 4 hours over there, and then we can look for another attempt to the top side. Okay, the only thing is this is the first attempt, second attempt, this is the third attempt. So I do feel like this is where we're going to find our resistance. Volume is showing that it's subsiding. Looks like a doji. So the next 4 hour candle is going to be very important. If the next 4 hour candle shows you the weakness to the downside, keep in mind that we need to stay above 20,300. Any closes under 20,300, we're going to be looking to test the bottom again. All right, and testing the bottom, we have lots of points of liquidity right now. I'm looking for it to come all the way down here, 19.5, if not lower, to take out all this liquidity. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if we retest this wick right here at this fib, which is 18,887, because this was the top of our range. This is the bottom of the range. We're in this triangle consolidation. We have not broke out yet. When we do break out, we'll know, because if this gets rejection right now to this $20,300 level, find support on the middle of this ascending channel's midline, and then we can continue the rise up. Well, then we can basically find some support here, and then we'll shoot up past this. You know, we'll go all the way to the 200, probably around 21,900. Find some resistance, test back onto our breakout area of this little triangle, and then we'll just take this measured move straight up. But I did want to see this 200 get touched once, and then if we reject off of it, I'll understand like, hey, it's time to short. But right now, everything is posturing to the upside to me. Once this 21 crosses this 200, we're officially going to be in a bullish stance, and we're close. We already tried it once. This didn't even make it past 100. We tried it here, got rejected instantly. The first time it usually does that. The second time we might actually break above it, then break under it, and the third time is going to be clear capture. So that's what we're looking for on Bitcoin. All right, guys. Weekly wise, since it is Friday, here's your weekly candles. Not bad. This weekly candle looks like it tested the bottom and then basically kept it up. The buyers held it up. The support held it. Closing like this, maybe next week we will continue to test higher, around 22,500. That is very possible because this, I know we got lower volume and everything, but we don't have, I don't know how to explain it. I usually look for a little bit more exhaustion, and right now this wick to the upside was exhaustion, like, hey, this is resistance. This wick to the downside is exhaustion as support, and this is our third wick. We only have one wick here, so now I'm looking for us to test a little bit into this like imbalance, and then if we do get into this area and we claim this area next week, then we can look to retest this like wick over here, 25,200. So things are getting spicy, guys. Things are getting spicy. That's what I wanted to point out on the weekly. Let's go now to Ethereum on a weekly. And Ethereum is showing strength. Ethereum is showing you that it already did a somewhat of a recovery on the weekly. And if we close above, well, I mean, closing above 1275 would be very, very good, but closing anything above 1213 would be great, and we're already above it. But with daily, so on the daily, we've already recouped the 21. So Ethereum is the stronger asset right now, guys. So here's Ethereum. Here's your Bitcoin daily. Bitcoin is trying to claim the 21. Ethereum is already using it as support and pushing off of it, probably to the 55 next, which is around 1400. So I'm looking for Ethereum to test into 1275 today. Let's see if we can get to 1275 and continue upward or not. If we get rejected from 1275, that's totally okay. I'm looking for support to come in at around 1160, and then we can look for another attempt to the upside. As long as we're above the 21, that's all I ideally want on my daily. And then we can look for the test into the 55. Let's go to the 44, sorry, the 4 hour. Yeah, so see, this is gonna probably hit this 200, and then we'll see if it's gonna reject hard or not. We're basically right there. We just almost have this naked point of control over here. We are basically fighting the top of the Bollinger Band, so we're in trend. Yeah, I do think we're gonna get this 1253 area. We'll see if we get to 1275, but I think this area is gonna get touched once, and then we'll see the rejection probably push down to the open, or maybe even like 1192, and then we can roll around and continue back to the upside. But yeah, I do see that we're pushing and starting to show the exhaustion, or at least the rally is gonna have a little bit of a retracement soon. Let's get ready. We got to see how low the retracement goes. This right here looks great for me. The 21 is getting into the 55. We're about to go over the 100. This is very, very bullish. This actually is proof that the buyers are pushing this up, and it's not just like fake volume. So right now, this looks good. I'm looking for us to get to the 200. I want this 21 above the 200 and then continue up to like this EMA around 1500-ish. So yeah, today is looking very good for Ethereum. Let's just see how it reacts when it hits these levels of resistance and this naked point of control. As long as the pushback isn't too hard and we can find our support like right around here at 1155-ish, we should look for some sideways action in this area if we come down and then up. I'm trying my drawings. Okay. So here's a little bit more of an interesting thing. Remove this now. As much as I want that channel, it's useless. We're going in that little orange sideways range still. We're in our little triangle consolidation. Okay, we're trying to get above this level for this measured move to play out. And it is looking like we might get into this $1,300 area if this occurs. I just want this to actually pull back a little bit. I think this did too much too fast. I wanted to come back to around 1142 and then continue the upside push. I think that would be more wiser. Let it consolidate here a little bit and then we'll just W out of this. I'm gonna leave this because I can see that this will probably come and test onto this channel. If we lose this channel to the downside, this can actually like there you go. I'm gonna leave it like that. When this does break down, if this does break down from here, then I'll know that this channel midline is the last level for me to look for this relief rally. After it loses this, it's gonna be one of these things. Since this is a lower high, this is the high, this is a lower high, this is a lower high. If this becomes where we find our resistance, right on the top of our potential shorting triangle, the top of this range, we could ride it at least in the middle or lower. Yeah, and this orange range that we've got is where it's sticking in. Down this little hole. There you go. That's a little bit better. Don't want this red, but hey. So yeah, this is what we're doing. We're in our little range, but we're getting weaker. Once this, if this comes back down into this, it's gonna break down hard. We are looking for our support here on this reprieve bounce. We're looking for support around 1170, and anything under 1170, we're just gonna be like, all right, this weekly candle is gonna just basically be nothing. But if we close like this weekly candle is great, and we can look for continuation next week. I mean, we're basically gonna touch the 200 and then pull back a little bit, maybe find some support on this, take a bull flag, something like this. Okay, test into here, come back down, and then we just make a little bull flag. And then we go up. So something like that is kind of what I'm looking for Ethereum. Bitcoin looks a little bit less like bullish, but Ethereum might be the one bringing up the market. So keep that in mind. If we do come into here, we might get that same situation, like consolidation, but it will probably break down. And then try to find some support over here, maybe make a little triangle, and then try to come back up. Probably get rejected, unfortunately. So those are like two possible paths right now of what is going to happen with this price action. Only time will tell. And yeah, we'll wait and see. But I do have those measured moves there because it is going to follow one of those paths. Definitely not going left. All right, guys. Well, that's Bitcoin and Ethereum for you guys for today. Let's see how the day closes at 4 p.m. CME will lock in its prices, and then Sunday at 8 we'll see perpetuals close and lock in their prices, and we will follow up on Saturday or Sunday for how the weekly closes and what we're expecting next. This orange trend line to the downside, this little channel that we're in, we just broke to the upside. Okay, so this little channel that we're in has a measured move of its own to at least this level here, to like 1528. So this, I'm gonna remove this little thing. I think we can get to 1528 now. Now I can see what's going on the larger. If you zoom out, you can see that we are basically breaking out of this descending orange channel, which is my long right there. And then now we are basically making another ascending channel. But we broke out of here and we might test back onto here and then launch out. So this is very interesting. We're gonna have to wait and see how it plays out, but I do see that this is a bottoming formation now. I don't even think we need this triangle. Let's just remove that. We can see what it's doing. We don't need that. The EMAs are kind of forming the triangle for us. See this little triangle right here? This 200 EMA while price is stagnating. So the 200 is the top of our triangle. Once we break out of that, we'll see it try to gun for this next EMA. More than likely, we're going to find some resistance over here at 1350 area. And when it rolls back down, hopefully this channel acts as support, and then we can look for the launch to the 1500 areas. This two naked point of controls in this little order block. All these little naked point of controls are just money sitting, waiting to be taken back. So anyway, got 28 minutes for this EMA. This 4 hour to close on ETH. Let's see if the next 4 hours continuation. If it is awesome, I'm looking for some resistance into here around 1275. If it is not gonna make it that high and starts rolling back down, I'm gonna be targeting the bottom of this channel EMA, like around 1100ish, because that's where this orange channel is. So I'm thinking it might test into this orange channel, but if it tests this blue descending channel, that's also okay. But I'm watching for the channels, and I'm watching for my EMA midpoint, which is around 1150 for ETH. And then we're just gonna see how this range plays out. All right, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell button for notifications. And if you have any other questions or concerns, please leave it in the section below. If there are other assets you want to cover, leave it in the section below. And lastly, don't forget that we have our Discord group in the description of this video down there. So if you want any real-time information or sharing of charts or need an urgent question answered, feel free to join the group. It's completely free, and there's a bunch of professional traders there that will be able to assist you if I am too busy. Thank you once again so much for taking the time and hanging out with me. Happy Friday, guys. Be safe. Talk to you soon.